Not long ago, a quarter of the world's population answered to a single monarch, the British Empire. It was the largest empire in history, spanning nearly a quarter of the Earth's land. From Canada's snows to Australia's deserts, the British flag flew across continents. People said, "The sun never sets on the British Empire." And it was true. The Royal Navy projected power everywhere, securing resources like rubber, tea, and gold. Its legacy is everywhere, in languages, sports, and the borders of nations. But like all empires, it was not destined to last forever. The British Empire began not with armies, but with the pursuit of profit. In the 1500s and 1600s, England sought to rival Spain and Portugal's colonial riches. Merchants dreamed of Asian spices and silks worth more than gold. The real engine was private companies, especially the East India Company, founded in 1600. With its own ships and soldiers, the company set up trading posts in India, buying spices, cotton, and tea. At first, they traded with local rulers, not governed them. But as the Mughal Empire weakened, the company used its private army to intervene in local conflicts. Victories brought land and tax rights, turning traders into rulers. In North America, colonies like Virginia and Massachusetts were settled for opportunity and freedom. In the Caribbean, sugar plantations thrived, built on the brutal transatlantic slave trade. The early empire was a patchwork of ventures, all driven by wealth, and increasingly by control over land and people. Trade and profit soon demanded power. The stage was set for imperial expansion. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Britain became a true global superpower. Its secret naval supremacy after defeating France in the Napoleonic Wars. The Royal Navy ruled the seas, protecting trade and projecting power worldwide. This era, called Pax Britannica, brought global stability, mainly for Britain's benefit. The Industrial Revolution fueled expansion, with colonies supplying raw materials and buying British goods. Settler colonies like Canada and Australia grew, while in Africa, Britain joined the scramble for Africa. Empire became a symbol of national pride and power. Expansion was justified by a civilizing mission, the belief that Britain was bringing progress and order. But this ideology masked exploitation and racism at the empire's core. The empire's reach was vast, but its rule was often harsh. The seeds of resistance were already being sown. India was the empire's crown jewel, vital for its wealth, markets, and soldiers. British rule peaked after the brutal 1857 uprising, known as the Indian Mutiny or First War of Independence. The rebellion, sparked by anger among Indian soldiers, spread rapidly and was crushed with great violence. Afterward, the British government took direct control, beginning the era of the Raj. Railways and telegraphs unified India, but mainly to serve British interests. Local industries collapsed under British imports. Farmers were forced into cash crops, fueling famines. A small Indian elite was educated to help govern, but most Indians faced poverty and oppression. The Raj brought order for some, but hardship for millions. British rule was efficient, but deeply unequal. The desire for independence was growing. By 1900, the British Empire seemed unshakable, but cracks were forming. World War I cost over 1 million imperial lives and left Britain deeply in debt. Colonial soldiers returned home, demanding rights and self-government. The idea of self-determination inspired nationalist movements across the empire. World War II was the final blow. Britain emerged victorious but bankrupt and dependent on the US and USSR. The fall of Singapore shattered the myth of British invincibility. The world order had changed. Superpowers opposed old empires. At home, the British public was weary and focused on rebuilding. The will and resources to maintain the empire were gone. The stage was set for rapid decolonization. The end of empire was now inevitable. After World War II, a wave of nationalism swept Asia and Africa. India led the way. After decades of struggle, it gained independence in 1947. Though partition brought tragedy, India's freedom inspired others. Burma, Ceylon, and Malaya soon followed. In Africa, Ghana became the first sub-Saharan nation to gain independence in 1957, sparking a continent-wide movement. Some transitions were peaceful, others, like Kenya's Mau Mau uprising, were violent. Britain realized it was better to grant independence than fight unwinnable wars. By the 1960s, most colonies were independent. The empire unraveled in a single generation. The 1997 handover of Hong Kong symbolized the end. The reasons: colonial nationalism, Britain's economic weakness, and pressure from new superpowers. Britain no longer had the power or will to rule. A new world of independent nations emerged. As the empire faded, the Commonwealth of Nations emerged, a voluntary association of former colonies. Today, over 50 countries belong, maintaining ties of trade, culture, and history. The legacy of empire is hotly debated. Some praise the infrastructure, legal systems, and global connections it left behind. Others point to exploitation, violence, and the artificial borders that fuel conflict today. The empire brought both progress and suffering. It built railways and caused famines. It spread law and denied freedom. Its legacy is complex, neither wholly good nor bad. The lesson: no empire lasts forever. Power is fleeting, but its impact endures. The world's borders, languages, and connections still bear the mark of British rule. Understanding this legacy is key to understanding our world.